I'm Liz Tassone. I'm here with the Caring Matters podcast, and I'm here today with Kathleen Kuhn. And Kathleen is an education consultant, but she's also a caregiver and has spent some time writing about her father. And so she's going to tell us a little bit about him and give us the privilege of hearing some of her poetry read. And I think you'll enjoy the heartfelt poetry that she's written. So welcome, Kathleen.
Thanks, Liz.
And do you first want to tell us what this was written about, who this
Sure.
is about?
I started writing about my dad when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. He's had Alzheimer's for the last 17 years or so, and stayed at home with my mom through 13 of those years. The last 4 years he's lived in a nursing home facility. And I started writing just to be able to process the experience that I was having of him, sometimes funny, sometimes frustrating, always sad, and I felt that writing was a way to be able to put some of my feelings out there on paper and understand what was really going on inside my heart.
And has writing always been an outlet for you in terms of a way to kind of express the emotions?
I've kept a journal off and on since I was a junior in high school. So yes, I use writing quite often.
Okay, so this was just a natural thing for you to write about this experience as well.
It really was.
Okay, why don't we hear one of your poems?
This is the first poem I ever wrote about my dad. It's called Eternal Present. My dad lives in the eternal present, a grain of sand stuck in the narrow passage between what has been and what is about to be. The time is now. The day is today. No mention of weeks, months, years. I can't imagine. No yesterday, no tomorrow, no evaluating this morning, no anticipating tonight. Sometimes I think I'd give anything to live without a planner, a clock, a calendar, to be free from time constraints. But Dad has given everything, not his choice, to live moment by moment. He's never quite sure where he's been. He rarely asks where he's going. Every moment, every experience is now. But I remember the past. He taught me to ride a bike. He sang, "I'll take you home again, Kathleen." He swam with me in the backyard pool. He helped me with algebra word problems. He taught me to drive. He believed I was a great teacher. He helped me buy a house. He danced with me at my wedding. And I remember the future. We would have done jigsaw puzzles. We would have played card games. We would have had crossword puzzle races. We would have enjoyed sunsets together. We would have remembered the past. Now he's more likely to say, "This is the best meal I've ever had. This is the most beautiful blue sky I've ever seen. The autumn leaves have never been this bright. Doesn't that flower smell wonderful? Doesn't that music make you want to dance?" Stuck between the orbs of the hourglass, my dad gifts me with an eternal present. Yesterday, tomorrow, they mean little if I miss the wonder of today.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And as you read it, and I believe that's the first time I've heard that one as well, but just your reflection of what the sages of all times have told us to live in the present.
Yes.
And recognizing that your father in this diagnosis and symptomology of Alzheimer's has that gift.
Yes, and I think that, Alzheimer's to me is a death sentence, and there's nothing uplifting about Alzheimer's, but there are gifts that come from experiencing Alzheimer's with someone in your life. And writing has made me be able to realize some of those gifts. I think if we don't take time to reflect on the happenings in our life, we miss those gifts.
Well, that certainly points out both your gift of him in this and maybe his gift from the disease.
Exactly.
Beautifully, beautifully done.
This next one I picked out is one I wrote on my mom and dad's 54th wedding anniversary. I was at the nursing home with my mom and dad. We were having brownies or something, and I felt like I needed to write about the experience that day when I came home. It's called Heart Memories. I am the daughter, she is the wife, he does not know. Rich chocolate brownies complement creamy strawberry ice cream. Cards are open, read, and shared. 54, he exclaims, seeing fancy numerals on a greeting. What's that about? I gently remind him, Dad, you and Mom have been married for 54 years. Oh, am I married? Her face falls. Sure, Dad. Who's that lady sitting next to you? His head turns. His face breaks into the smile I've seen all my life, the wedding photo on her dresser. His blue eyes light and twinkle with his response. She's beautiful. Her smile matches the bride's picture. The heart has memories of which the brain knows not.
Wow. Beautiful.
It's still, I mean, it moves me sometimes
Sure.
even to read them. So.
Sure. I mean, they're definitely from your heart space as well. And it captured that moment beautifully, and I'm sure what you were feeling at the time.
Yes.
So this process of remembering, as you experience this and remember it and write it down, explain how that helps you.
Well, I think for me it takes feelings that are inside, and sometimes when feelings are inside, they're mixed up, and it's hard to get a handle on what it is I really feel at any given time. But once I put it on paper, it becomes real. I can begin to sort it out a little bit. Once it's sorted, then I can reflect on it and say, this is the good stuff, this is the stuff I want to sift away and let it fall away. And that's part of the process of life, is that we hang on to the good stuff. And the less good stuff we use either to reflect and make things better or sift the rest away. You know, take what you can get and leave what you don't need. And writing for me makes that real. Something that I say to students all the time is that, you know, if you write it down, you're going to remember it, and it becomes a part of you. So the very process of writing is so important for creating your own memories, I think.
Yeah. The philosophy of Kathleen Kuhn. Thank you. I mean, really, honestly, thank you very much for sharing that and for sharing these. And
You're welcome.
I think what we'll do is maybe close this one out and do a second podcast with a kind of a Christmas poem that you wrote, and reflect on that then. But I'm Liz Tasson. I want to thank you for listening. Please check out our podcasts, or our podcast sponsors. At the bottom, there are Vitas Hospice, Hillebrand Home Health, Home Care by Blackstone, Family Bridges Home Care, Lifespan, and Bailey. So thank you to them as well. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you, Liz.
We really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate it.